Love this story. It might be the most sought-after job in New York City. The city that never sleeps is now searching for a night mayor. Officially titled Director of the Office of Nightlife, this person will act as a liaison between the municipal government and the industry. And since nightlife contributes to an estimated $10 billion to the economy every year, it is a position that will be very influential. Gerard McNamee is running for this job. He is uniquely qualified, having spent a decade running New York's legendary Webster Hall. And he joins us from New York City. Good morning to you. And Mr. McNamee, I understand this is going to be at the opposite end of your day if you actually win.
That's correct. Good morning, Anne-Marie. Good morning, Canada.
Tell me about your vision for this role.
It would be obviously to support the mayor and his initiatives, one of which would be to create 10,000 sustainable, good-paying jobs in the nightlife industry over the next 10 years. So job creation would be the main focus.
What kind of jobs would those be?
They would be, they would run the gamut in the service industry and the nightlife industry, from security guards to bartenders to service personnel to booking more artists and entertainment, which we would do by expanding the industry.
What makes you a qualified candidate for this position?
Well, I'd like to think my experience at Webster Hall over the last 10 years, I have dealt with all of the stakeholders, and when we say stakeholders under these circumstances, we speak of the city agencies, the police department, the fire department, the buildings department, the health department, the New York State Liquor Authority. They would be one set of stakeholders, the state and state and city agencies. And then I also had to deal with the communities and the neighborhoods. And then, of course, the operators themselves. So I have extensive experience at being a liaison between these groups. And I think I would serve the city well if I were to be appointed the first ever director of nightlife for New York City.
Now, this is a new position for us here in North America, but over in Europe, these positions already exist. You actually traveled and spoke to some of the night mayors there. What did you learn?
I did. I met with the Mayor de la Nuit of Paris, and I met with the London Night Czar, and I met with the Nachtburgmeester of Amsterdam, and I found that we have same issues here in New York City as they would in those European cities. I believe that nightlife and entertainment is an international language. So what I learned was they have issues with litter and noise and transportation, which would be something that we'd have to deal with here in New York City as well.
I'm curious about hours. When does your shift end and when does the daytime mayor's shift begin?
Well, that's a good question. This would be the first time ever that this Office of Nightlife would exist. So I think that out of the gate, we'd have to find a balance between daytime administrative hours and actually being out in the field at night. But I think primarily it would be organized during the daytime.
Is this something that maybe a city here in Canada like Toronto or Vancouver could experiment with?
I think so. They've had great experience in Europe, and I think that, yes, it would serve, such an office would serve New York City well, and I think would also serve Toronto well. Toronto historically has a vibrant nightlife, and I think that somebody in the position of night mayor there would be a positive thing, no doubt about it.
Mr. McNamee, when will you know?
Well, that's a good question. I'm assuming any day now. The mayor said that they were going to make a decision by the end of the year. So now we're at the beginning of the year. So I'm expecting that we could have an appointment, like I said, any day now.
Maybe the next time we speak, I'll be referring to you as Mr. Mayor. Good to talk to you this morning from New York City.
Thank you very much.